Interesting weather today, Keith, after yesterday, certainly. Sugarloaf mid-morning put a pause on skiing because of lightning in the area.
Yeah, and there was quite a bit of lightning that came through western Maine, especially. I was saying to you before, you know what would put a pause on the lift for me? The fact that it was raining. I don't do that. I don't.
Seems more of a problem.
I don't ski in the rain. They are going to get some snow in the mountains eventually. You can see that cold air trying to filter down slowly. But yeah, we've seen a little of everything this morning so far. The thunderstorms were most noteworthy, just adding to what has been a very bizarre winter so far. And you can see that colder air. Look at Rangeley at 32, 27 in Greenville. Again, I'd love to hear from you in Bangor. Is that sleet? Remember, sleet pings, freezing rain clings. It's probably sleet. I think it'd be hard to get freezing rain down to the surface, being as warm as it is right now. And then along the coast, it's still rain. So luckily, this isn't a super robust front moisture-wise, and I say luckily because we do have all varieties of precipitation through the rest of this afternoon as the front sags down to the south. And even along the coastline where it's just still pretty mild and squarely rain, later today they could see some sleet pellets and even a couple of snowflakes on the back end of this front. You can see by 6 o'clock tonight it's snowing into down East Maine. There's the front offshore, and watch these temperatures. You know, it's been such a mild stretch of weather. I think tomorrow morning is going to feel pretty cold to us in the teens in a lot of spots, 10 or so inland, and then single digits into the mountains, which will make for a challenging situation there to go from rain to snow to hard freeze. They'll have to bring some heavy grooming out. But by tomorrow afternoon, we're back into the 30s in most spots, mid-30s over southern Maine, right around freezing for the rest of us. And then we go through a mixture of sun and clouds on Sunday. And I think Sunday is actually pretty mild. I'll take the over on these temperatures. I think we'll be in the low 40s with a couple of mid-40s out there as well. But overall, a nice looking weekend. And then, of course, school vacation week next week. And even if you don't have the whole week off, Monday is a common one to have off. It looks pretty decent there. So here's what we've got for snowfall forecast through the rest of today. Less than an inch, but we just want to let you know you could see some snow, some flakes in this shaded area. 1 to 3 through Farmington and Bethel, Newry and all that area, and then to the north, starting at about Rangeley, 3 to 6. The real snow is in Aroostook County mostly, 6 to 12 inches of snow. Okay, so after a quiet weekend, we get into a much more active pattern for next week. Nailing down the specifics is always the fun part, but I think first thing comes through is Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night. Not a big deal, it doesn't look like. Maybe just a couple of inches of snow with a little bit of mix along the coast. Let's say 1 to 3, just off the top of my head, maybe 2 to 4. And then that storm goes out to sea. Next one that comes in is on Thursday. This looks bigger. It's an overrunning event with a warm front here, so we could see snow initially and then maybe changing over to rain along the coastline, but that Thursday into Thursday night looks like a bigger storm. But look into next week and another one comes through, so we're in a better pattern. I don't think it's the pattern that we get that blitz that one week because it's not as well teleconnected. We don't have time to explain this, but it's not as well connected in the upper atmosphere for us to just get blitzed with snow. But there's definitely more storms around. And again, watching Wednesday into Thursday, I think it might be more Thursday itself that is the issue, but we'll call it a mix. Right now, we'll keep an eye on it, and there is a possibility for 3 storms next week, Brian. Again, the first one's weak, second one's interesting, and then the third one is next weekend, so we'll deal with that as we get closer.
Big change.